What is a human soul? My first question is, does the human soul exist? Science suggests that the concept of the soul is a fundamental aspect of human nature. Humans enter a mental state of accepting something as true based on a certain level of certainty, probability, or faith, which can stem from personal experiences, knowledge, or cultural influences. A belief is a subjective attitude that something is true and held steadfast without question or evidence. A man can say, "I believe in God," even though neither he nor all the people he knows or all the people those people know have ever seen or spoken to God face to face. No one has ever claimed to have had a cup of tea with God for a friendly chat. Never. Throughout history, people who have claimed to have spoken to God have been branded as schizophrenic. They are people who experience hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking, leading to a distorted perception of reality. On the other hand, billions of people pray to a God they don't know exists. Society accepts you praying to what you can't see, but if you claim to see what you are praying at, you are considered a nutcase. So, what we regard as true, even though we have no proof to back up our claims, is not a statement of fact, but a statement of our own belief. Because we cannot prove our belief one way or the other, and neither can people who hold the opposite belief. Those who share our beliefs have no reason to believe as they do, as they have nothing to support their stance. My next question is, do people wake up one morning and have an epiphany? Do they say, "I suddenly believe in God"? Do they have a good reason for this epiphany? Did they dream of God? And if they did dream of God, then in actual fact, their epiphany was no more than a dream, not a scientific fact. Did you get your belief in God from your environment? Are all of your relatives active in a religion? Does your belief in God come from following everyone else in their belief, and you just go along with the crowd believing in what you can't see, because your elders told you to believe in what they couldn't see? If you don't believe in what they believe in, something terrible will happen to your soul. And I know for a fact that you can't see the soul either. For thousands of years, man has proclaimed to have a soul, even though not one human that has ever lived, or who is living today, has ever actually seen a soul. Still, churches are founded on the idealistic assumption that you have a soul, and if you don't obey the elders who also have a soul but have never seen it, that your soul will burn in hell for eternity. To keep you guessing and focused on a religion's holy doctrines, they rule over you by fear of eternal death. Here's a thought. Every person who has died is already dead for eternity. Fear of the unknown is instilled into your brain from birth. Ideologies and concepts you learn to accept, because that is the way you have been taught. Don't you have a right to believe in what you have found for yourself? You should feel comfortable in what you believe, and not be ruled over by others whose beliefs are nothing more than sociologically instilled dogmas, made up out of fear and ignorance. There are literally hundreds of active religions around the world. Which one is the right belief? Is your belief the only right one? If you can't see God, then how do you know for a fact, and what is this fact of yours, that this God of yours is no more than something you have faith in? Another question I would like to raise is, when does the soul enter the human body, and why does it do it? There aren't any scientific facts to answer this question. Some believe the soul enters at the moment of conception. If this is true, then where is the soul before conception? Is it in the sperm or the egg? Others say the soul enters the fetus 120 days after conception. If this is true, where was the soul hiding during those 120 days? Was it hanging out in the uterus? Why does the soul enter the body? It must have a purpose, as it has been doing this since the first humans appeared on the earth. This question is a matter of faith and varies greatly across different religious and philosophical traditions. One thought is that the soul's journey isn't a one-off affair. The Oversoul, call it God if you will, wants to experience every single facet of all the events in human life, down to the tiniest molecule. All human life experiences are different from someone else's experiences. For example, if you were 10 seconds earlier, the train might have hit you, killing you instantly. But as you were 10 seconds late, it missed you. Every soul must work with the body it ends up with, until the death of that body. The list of human life stories gives the Oversoul a better understanding of its creation as well as a personal bond. If you could experience every living second in a human's life, then you would know their pain as they know it. As to why the soul enters the human body instead of a mouse or an ant's body. Only humans are sentient, that being, conscious, of a response to sensations of seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, or smelling. The soul needs the human consciousness to experience human development. When the human dies, the soul leaves the body and comes back again in another body, ready to experience life in that body's life experiences. If a human dies suddenly, like in a plane crash, then that soul leaves the body with that conscious moment and takes it to the next human it joins. Some children recollect the sudden death event around the age of 3 or 4 years of age. The memory develops around this time in children. They can tell you things about their past lives that seem impossible for a child to recall. One young boy of 4 told his mother and father that he died in the Second World War in a plane crash. He told them he was flying a secret plane when it crashed. The father, who was working for an aviation company, told the son he was wrong, as he had never heard of that type of plane. The son told him to dial a number he had in his head. The father did so and was connected to the American Pentagon. He was told that few people knew of the plane or its missions. The co-pilot lived after the crash and was still alive in a town in California. The parents arranged for their son to meet the old man, and at once the boy and the co-pilot struck up a conversation like it was yesterday. It seems the soul takes the conscious event with it when it leaves the body. Maybe the Oversoul can't interfere with the human journey, because if it interferes, the Oversoul would miss the event that the human would have experienced. I have no concrete proof of my thoughts any more than you have of the thought that in faith you believe in a God. I am not saying that there isn't a God, for surely something is happening that we don't understand. Take the example of the child's recollection of a past life event. These are not isolated events. They happen worldwide. Consider yourself lucky if you can form your own beliefs without interference from bullies. They are wandering through the same dark tunnel as you. Only you have a brighter view in that tunnel, because your freedom of thought has given you a new perspective and a greater advantage in finding your way. Join Don and me at our website www.billabongvalleypublications.com.au. Once there, you will find books you can purchase and then download the audio or PDF version. You can even stop and read one of the 40 videos about Don's female robot companion. Purchase our book, I Bought a Female Robot Companion, and learn what it's like living with a robot as a friend. Bye for now. Emma.